Today we're going to put some radius edges on these circles that we've cut out with the Milescraft circle guide. All right, stay tuned. I'll show you how to do it. Hello and welcome back to another video. Okay, in the last video I showed you how to cut up these circles like this. So today what we're going to do is put a radius edge on the circle, sand them smooth, get rid of this hole back here, and get them all ready for primer. That's what we're going to do today. I've been working on these for a while, and I've kind of, I've gone through most of these bits right here. There's an 1/8 inch round over bit, 1/4 inch round over bit, 3/8 and half. I did the first 3/8, 1/4, and 3/8. I stopped at the 3/8 because that's the edge that I found that I like best. Kind of reminds me of the pine boards, how it kind of flows right out the side like that. So, but now this is MDF, so this is a different type of wood than the pine. But I've already tested it out, and that's what I figured out that I like best. What this bit is it has a bearing on the bottom of it, and what that's going to do is that's going to match up with the wood right like that. And as it goes around, it's going to put a curved radius edge on the top of the board. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get this set up. We're going to use the Milescraft edge guide right here. And we'll go outside and we'll put a radius edge on these, get them all ready for resin. Okay, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so right here I'm just setting the router up, putting the bit in it, and getting it locked into the edge guide from the Milescraft circle jig kit. These are some things you'll need to sand it, plus the wood filler, 60 all the way up to 320, plus the wood filler. So I like Elmer's. I'll link that in the description, but just plug the hole on the back of the board like that, just push it in with your finger. And I always do this very first thing because that way it'll be dry. Okay, so now this is a little bit of a high spot that the router left from cutting out the circle. It is right there. So what I do is I take a little bit of 60 grit, I knock it off of there, then I go back up around it with 150. So just wanted to show you that. And then plus also, if you can see there, it leaves ridges in the wood. So you want to sand all of those ridges nice and smooth. So just wanted to put that in the video so you guys can get, details on this. So this is what you'll see if you go to do this. So just wanted to fill you in on that info and let you know all that. I like the details, so I figure I'd tell you guys all the details too. Okay, so here I am just knocking off that high spot and sanding it all down, and I sanded up to 150 right here. So now you can see that most of those ridges are gone and that high spot is gone right there. Okay, and then I do some finish sanding on it up to 220, and then I get it ready for the radius edge from the router. So that will be coming up here in just a second. Yeah, just wanted to show you that. Okay. All right, sand it a little bit more, like I said, all the way up to 220. And then what I do is I rub my finger around it, make sure I don't feel any spots or anything like that. So just sand. And then just make sure you just try to stay on the edge and not try to get on the top anywhere. So, all right. And then I just, rub my finger around it, make sure it feels all nice and smooth. Oh, yeah, nice and smooth. Okay, here I am going over the router. Okay, this is just going to be a quick demonstration in the depth setting on your plunge router for the radius edge with this radius bit. Okay, so mine's got this little bar right there. Some will have a dial, some will have a knob. But you can loosen this up, and then come back down, set your radius edge kind of where you want it at. This will vary, so the deeper you go, the bigger the edge you will have. The shallower you go, the smaller the edge you will have. So when it lines up with it, this is a finished board already. It'll hit that bearing and just kind of go and cut it. But I just wanted to make sure I brought you guys in here and showed you. Now, one thing you definitely don't want to do is have your radius edge bit all the way out like that, because then this will dig into the top of it. So, okay, I just figured I'd bring you in here and show you that part. It's a good idea to practice and figure out the depth you like.
I've kind of already got a depth figured out that I like with this radius edge. So that's what I do. Okay, all right. I just figured I'd bring you in there and show you. All right.
Okay, so here I am making a couple practice passes, and then I got a little video that kind of shows you the difference right here. So that one right there is pretty shallow, so it doesn't have that big of a radius edge on it. And then this one here, I went a little bit deeper with it, so it's got a pretty big radius edge. So just wanted to show you that. And then so that way you know the difference of when you go to do it. And it's always a good idea to practice. So practice first and then do your board next. Okay, so here we are, and I'm just putting the board down on a shim, you know, to kind of block it up so the router doesn't hit anything underneath of it. And then I'm going to go a little ways around it, and I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you guys can definitely see the difference in it. So give me just a second, and I should be bringing it up to the camera. Okay, so when I bring this up to the camera right now, it's about a quarter of the way done. And then I shut the router off, I set it down, and now I'm going to bring it up here and show you. And you can definitely see the difference. So that's where I kind of started at on it right there. And then, you know, I've gone that far with it right there. So you can definitely see how it's taken wood off of it. And I just wanted to bring that up there and show you guys that so you can see the difference. That way, you know, you kind of know what it's gonna look like. Okay, I'm gonna finish it up right now. Just, you know, go all the way back around it. Make sure, you know, I get the rest of it. And then sometimes it's not a bad idea to go around it again. So as long as you have that edge guide, you really can't, you know, cut off too much. So there it is, you know, all done. Radius edge all the way around it. And all we've got left to do now is just knock the wood filler off the back. So I just grab the 150 grit and then go to the back of it and just boom, 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 knock her right off, right like that. So, okay, just wanted to show you those important little details.
Okay, so basically in this video, it starts out, we put the wood filler in, very first thing back here, okay? Then I sand around it, you know, if you have any of those high spots, knock it off with 60 grit real quick. Then after that, 150 all the way around it. Then what you've got to do is we come down with the radius edge bit with the router. Then I go back around it, I sand it again with 150 all the way up to 320. And then the very last thing that I do is I sand off all the wood filler back here because by that time it's already dry. So this thing is all ready for a primer. In the next video, I'm going to show you an awesome primer that you guys will all like. And tune in for that one. So that'll be the next video. Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. Jax, where'd you go? Okay, all right, bye-bye everybody. There you are. Good boy.
Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching the video. I do appreciate it. And if you learned something, like and subscribe. I'll put the first video up here about cutting circles and then another video that'll link you to cells. And that subscribe button's all the way to the right. So make sure you hit it, and then that way you'll be ready for my next video. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.